everyone, welcome back. I'm Emily, and today I'm going to share a little bit about how I do splatters. I had a lovely subscriber, Katrina, ask me a little bit about splattering and what to use, so I figured I would make a video and kind of explain it. You can really use any kind of paint products to make splatters. This is one of my favorites. I got this at Michael's forever ago. You can use just the cheapy watercolors from the Dollar Tree. It'll do it. You can use acrylic paint. You can use these little splattery guys, these spray inks. Oh boy. You can use, I know they're not making the Heidi Shines anymore. You can still find them at Tuesday Morning. This is a Delusions one. I'm pretty sure they still make these. I know they don't make these anymore because apparently Michael's only carries stuff that's not for scrapbooking anymore. But I have done splatters with these Vicki Boutin art crayons, which are still available. Any paint really you can do. I know you can just add a little bit of water to these just spray bottles you get at the Dollar Tree, and you can make your own spray inks. I've done that before. There's lots and lots of things you can do. Today I'm going to just show you what I'm more comfortable with. I like to use really fluffy brushes to do them. If you're going to use any kind of paints, I recommend some kind of palette to do. You can use a mat to put down underneath, but this is just cardstock because you're not going to be like rubbing the paper around. You don't need to treat your paper or have watercolor paper. You can do that on watercolor paper and it'll kind of last a little longer and you can kind of manipulate it a little more. But I don't really feel like it's necessary when you're just doing splatters. That's one of the nice things. You can get that mixed media feel without having to really deep dive into it. So I like to activate my colors. And it's just water. And this is not going to waste any products. It's just going to kind of activate them. And then I always like to use my little stand. I like to make my own colors. That's one of the fun things about watercolors. Man, my desk is a mess. If you watched my last video where I made those cosmic prints, geez, I made a mess. So, let's see here. Okay, here's my tray of watercolors. So, obviously, the more water you use, the less it's going to, the less color, it's going to be a lot lighter. So, you load your brush up really good. And then I like to take my brush. If you have a picture down, make sure you cover anything you don't with paint because Murphy's Law, it's going to just get covered in paint even if you don't want it to. So you just smack it and that's it. And I like to kind of go in a pattern. I like to go where clusters of embellishments. If there's a lot of negative space and I'm like, I need something, then I'll do that there. But you just tap it. I mean, you saw how much paint I put on there. It's barely anything. And I'm covering it. So if you don't want your colors to mix, then make sure you see it does kind of blanch out a little bit on the cardstock. It's going to do that on the watercolor paper as well. But if the colors aren't as watered down, then see how it's darker. And it's not going to absorb as much into the paper because it's not as much water. So then you can make your own colors. You can play a little bit, but you just kind of splatter as you go. If the watercolors are still wet on the paper, obviously they're going to blend in together. Sometimes I really like that and sometimes I don't want that. I like this color green. So that's kind of it on that. But I like to do soft tips. I know some people, if they have a really hard brush like this, they'll crinkle it out and make direct splatters. But I like kind of letting them do what they want to do. So if you want to see and if you're being real lazy, you just add water straight to the brush. I do like that color though. So if you have spray inks, these don't need to be mixed up as much. You want to mix them really, really good, especially if they're the Heidi Shines. Those really, really need to be mixed up forever. That's probably my guess of why they stopped making them, because they kind of gave you an orb of oil So these are Delusions ink sprays. This is Cherry Pie. They're by Ranger. So I like to just take it off, and then again, you just tap it. I'm always really concerned with red splatters because I think it looks like blood a little bit, but I got these on clearance at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. So this is the Funky Freesia. But I like to just kind of take a little bit off and then just tap it. And if you want to contain the splatters, you go closer. If you want them just going wherever they want, go farther away. You will get messy though in this one if you are just going crazy. So those are the spray ones. And then if you want to see what just like acrylic paint looks like, you can do that too. This one's brand new apparently. This is very yellow. So you only need a little bit, and then you're going to water it down. So this is going to have a little green in it because I forgot to get a little bit of water next to me. This is spontaneous. I'm so excited somebody asked me a question, and the other day somebody on Instagram tagged me in something they made, and I like sat in bed crying because I was so excited. So if you don't have blue on your brush, then this obviously would still be yellow, but I'm just showing. So I added a little bit of water with a little bit of paints, and then you just splatter. So acrylic paint's totally fine. I'm sure most people have acrylic paint, especially if they have little kids. It's all here. So if you want to see what these look like, I love Vicky Booten. She is a little bit of everything. She does mixed media. She does scrapbooking. She's so cute and happy. All right, so you just use, if you've never used these crayons, they're amazing. So you just need a little bit. Like I said, you need to activate it with a little bit of water. My brush this color is going to be funky, so because I've got like 3 blues and a green and a yellow in here right now. And I would totally get up and go clean this, but my daughter is being really good sitting next to me right now, so I don't want to push my luck. So you just mix the water with the crayon if you need a little bit more. You just activate it. It's so pretty, and then you just splatter. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. Like I said, you don't need to have the most expensive watercolors. These were, I think, $3 at Michael's. I've bought the really cheap ones at the Dollar Tree before and used them. I mean, these cost 69 cents. These are a little bit more expensive, but you can find them at Tuesday Morning all the time if you still have Tuesday Morning. But if not, you can get them on scrapbooking.com. Spray inks are kind of becoming a little less popular for some reason. I'm not quite sure. I don't know how alcohol inks would work on these. I've never tried alcohol inks. But I have tried. I've just put paint in water, and you can get these at the Dollar Tree. You can find them on Amazon. Just make it yourself, but make sure you always shake before. But thank you so much for watching. Katrina, thank you for asking a question. I love answering. And if you have any other questions of your own, please put them down in the comments below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up so others can find me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. So have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Are you done?